Hi, welcome to Lowkey Louder. My name is Natalie.
And my name is Leslie. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about meta awareness.
So, what is meta awareness?
Meta awareness can be defined as the practice of observing and reconnecting to your true self.
When I think about meta awareness, I think about the control center of the mind. When I think about the control center of the mind, I think that we're usually so caught up in the mind that we forget that we can take a step back and sort of detach ourselves or remove ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that usually brings in more clarity and a better perspective or a different perspective. Yeah, so why are we talking about this topic now?
Okay, well, initially, when I first was thinking to myself about this question, what can we tell the audience about why this topic now? My first thought was maybe this is a bad idea. And we did mention this to one another. Like maybe this is just not the best idea because once you become aware of your awareness, that comes with a lot of responsibilities. You're going to be aware of a lot of pain and sadness that is going on in the world, in your life. And it's going to bring up a lot of good stuff too. Don't get me wrong. But there will be a lot of things that will come up to you, and you're going to have to be aware of them and learn how to navigate them and cope with them. And they're just going to be existent in your life. So my initial reaction was like, well, yeah, that's going to be a burden on people. But then following that thought was, well, there has to be also a way to soothe and to be okay and to cope with everything that is happening naturally in life and in our own personal life. So actually, it's very beneficial, if even actually more significant, to actually learn this, because yes, there will be things that you're going to become aware of that you probably wish you didn't, but it's way better to just be able to heal it and to be noticing what's actually happening with your body, to be able to observe yourself so that you can make changes. It comes with a lot of impact. So it's actually very important, even for emotional regulation, just to know how to be that aware. So that's why I think that we should be doing this topic now.
Yeah. Yeah, when I think about it, the my initial thought was, oh no, like do we really want to lead people down this path? Because ignorance is bliss. And once you start to practice and build that muscle of like building your awareness, it's kind of like you can't really go back. And while it has been incredibly beneficial for us to build our awareness and just keep working that muscle and getting better at it, like she said, it does bring up a lot, because once you are stepping away from yourself and sort of just being the observer of your mind, then you're gonna see that you probably have a lot of bullshit to deal with. I'm sorry, it's just the fact. Like, if you've been unaware and just kind of going through life, like going through the motions, just kind of letting life happen to you, and then you start building this awareness and building this muscle, that's gonna come with a lot of realization of like, oh yeah, okay, this that's happening, it's probably something that I can work on and it's my fault. Like, you just can't hide from yourself anymore once you start building that muscle. And that's why it was a little like, oh, do we really want to bring people down this path? But it is important at the end of the day, because it just makes us better humans overall. Once we are aware, I feel like it just gives you a better sense of emotional intelligence and just better emotional regulation. It is a good tool that has helped us through a lot and has helped us learn a lot about ourselves, actually, and helped us become better humans and just better at being our authentic selves, I think.
Yeah. So when I quiet down and I start to listen and hone in and step outside of myself, I start to realize how anxious I've allowed myself to be. So this has been very intense recently for a lot of personal reasons, just work and all sorts of things about life. And I notice that my breathing gets off.
Mm-hmm.
My it does throw off my sleep, but it's mainly the tension, like how my body feels and how much anxiety is in my body. That's
Yeah.
basically when I start to slow down. And then I remember years ago, every time, like, you would sometimes like randomly pause and you would be like, where have I been? And you would just like start going
Mm-hmm.
on like a stretching attack and
Yeah.
like where have I been in my body? And then I feel that way. And I've been feeling like
Mm-hmm.
that a lot recently where I'm like, where have I been? Like mentally, I don't know where I've been. Like physically, obviously I've been here, but like I haven't been applying myself the way that I would want to be. Like I just haven't been doing things so the way that I feel like I truly am. And I've just
Mm-hmm.
been so full of anxiety and tension and just stress. So when I've used the meta awareness so that I can practice observing what is actually going on and stepping outside of myself, I can see that I'm allowing things like my work to stress me out. And it's also allowed me though the ability to really back in the moment, which has been really nice when I start to spiral and I feel like I'm very angry or frustrated about something that I can't control. I'm finding it easier to catch it in the moment. I'm like, oh yeah, I am definitely getting way too stressed out. I need to take it down like 10 notches and
Yeah.
just, this isn't onto me, or pass it out to someone else. Like I've done my job. I'm good. Like you resolve it.
Yeah.
It's just
No, that makes sense. I think that, like you were saying, like I used to just randomly say like, oh, where have I been? Because I think that once you start the practice of becoming more aware, it's not like, oh, like it's like a flip of a switch or something. Like, oh, well, that means that I'm constantly aware, like, and it never
yeah.
fails. No, it ebbs and flows. So then
Mm-hmm.
there's these times where it feels like you just kind of let life drag you through the motions
Mm-hmm.
and you're just caught up in the whirlwind of it all and of the daily thing that sometimes it comes a point where it's like, wait, like, where the heck have I been? Like, I feel like I haven't been grounded. I haven't been present in my body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know what's going on. Like, oh my gosh, like my body feels horrible. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't moved. I haven't stretched. Like, what have I been doing? And I think that it's important to remember that that's most likely going to be the case for the majority of people. Like, it's not going to be a switch, and once you start practicing it, it will make your life better. But in the beginning, I am going to say that it is very overwhelming.
Mm.
Just kind of like becoming aware of everything that's going on in your life, in your mind, in your body. Um, but ultimately, I think that it brings us closer to our true self once
Mm-hmm.
we're like acting from a place of clarity and like more groundedness, which is from being like aware of your awareness. When we talk about like acting from a place that's not that center of awareness, it's more like you're just in reaction mode. There's no there's no actual like intention behind what you're doing. It's just kind of like split second reaction, 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 just kind of letting life take you through the motions. And what we're saying is that this is important because once you start slowing down to observe it, you have to slow down. Like you got to take a step back. You have to bring yourself away from the situation or whatever it is so you can get a clearer perspective. And like we said, you're going to catch yourself on so much BS that it's not even funny because our minds I think I read it somewhere like, oh yeah, like our minds are good servants but not good masters.
Mm.
And I think that when you're in that reaction mode is like letting your mind just be the master and just take you wherever it wants to go, which usually I think that we have like some kind of negative bias
Mm.
usually. So it usually doesn't take you to the best places. So I think that stepping away and building this muscle of awareness is something that can actually like dramatically change your life, even if it kind of sucks at first, because nobody wants to be called out on their stuff, but you would be calling your own self out.
Yeah.
So it'll just give you that opportunity, like, okay, but do you want to keep doing this now that you're aware? Like, is do you want to keep going down that road?
It's empowering to be able to do something about it now that you're aware. So yeah, it does suck
Yeah.
to find out that a lot of it's like you're the cause, but then it helps you not continue that pattern. Again, yes, the breaking patterns, which is really hard, guys. It takes years to learn things, but it also then takes, they say it takes 21 days. I don't know if I really believe that. It takes years when you're what is it, when the neurons fire together, wire together. Once that wires together, it is so hard to undo that, but it can definitely be done. It just takes practice and repetition, and yes, practicing the self-awareness, your meta-awareness, how to step into the control center of your mind so that you can take control of your life and your emotions, so that life is not beating you down to a pulp. Or if it is, at least you can have a way to just soothe and regulate, because I have been allowing life to just absolutely destroy me. It has just been too much, and I had to take a step back so that I can see what I'm actually in control of and what I'm not in control of. Let it go. It's not my problem. I'm not going to stress about it, because I was stressing about things that weren't even on my plate, but I was adding it to my plate. So I'm like, stop that. It's too much. So it's really empowering. You want to have that kind of control. So yes, it's a little scary to have to face yourself and be like, oh God, there's a lot of things here that now I'm aware of that I wasn't previously aware of. Maybe of people just around you. And you're gonna have to make some tough decisions, but it's better off. You want to actually be living the life that you want. You don't want to be living this fake, inauthentic life. You actually want to be truly happy. You want to have like fulfillment in your life. So it's time to get real and honest. So, and you can do that by practicing this.
I feel like I can't stop thinking about Sean Webb's self map when we're having this conversation. Like, I can't not mention it because it's on the forefront of my mind right now. Because when I think about building that meta awareness, that was one of the first steps that I feel like it's important to do. Because in that self map, what he does is guide you through so that you can start understanding what are the things that you care about, what are the things that like actually affect you, and basically like to what degree are they affecting you. And then when you realize that sometimes there are things on that map that are way too important to you, that you actually like don't want to be, like, you something that you're giving too much weight, and it really should be taken out to like the edge of the map. Because anything that's closer to the center, you're going to be in the center. The people who are closest to you are probably going to be in there with you, and then it starts expanding from there, and everything gets added to this self map. Everything that you can possibly care about can be added on there. Anything that can cause you any kind of emotion, it's gonna go on the map. And what you come to realize is that maybe some things are like not as important as you're making them, and maybe it's time to put them a little more like further away to keep your sanity, to keep your mental health. And I feel like it's just a good tool to kind of give you like that visual, and kind of like help you snap out of it. Because sometimes we put too much emphasis and care too much about certain things, and we let them completely run our lives, when maybe like you don't have to do that anymore. And let's talk about some tools that people can use to build their awareness. Like, building the self map is good, but obviously treating certain tasks like meditations. It doesn't have to be an actual meditation, because anything can be a meditation as long as you're focusing all your attention on something. That's what meditation is.
Can we mention Sean Webb's like example of using the me?
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is a Sean Webb episode. Shout out to Sean Webb. We love your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get more into this, go search up the Mind Hacking Happiness, the podcast, the book.
Yeah.
Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
But a great example is using the me. That was so transformational for me when I first stumbled upon it. Oh my gosh. It was just, it's such a quick way to shift your perspective and to also to like diffuse emotional like intensity of certain things. So if you're in a certain situation and you're feeling a certain kind of way, you can say the me is feeling this. It kind of takes you out of that position, the first person position, like I am feeling this, which feels like way more strong and intense. So it just kind of takes you out of that and puts you into that meta awareness, into that position of like the me's feeling this. So it's just a little outside of your body.
Yeah, and it's going to sound silly. Yes, but that's the point. That's the point. The point is that it's so silly and so jarring to call yourself the me that it automatically puts you in that other perspective. Like you said, it takes you out of that first person perspective. So yeah, you can say the me is angry about this. The me is stressed about work. And it's just that little thing that I feel like it's definitely very helpful. If you didn't mention it, I was going to mention it. Like, I was already thinking about that.
It was just so good, like such a good example and such a good tool to use in the moment to just diffuse a little situation, to really like shift perspective real quick.
Yeah. But for me also, it's just straight up slowing down. And I'm talking about like slowing down, like physically. Like, you might catch yourself, especially if you're someone that suffers with anxiety, you might catch yourself rushing through everything. And if you start actually paying attention to your body and like what's going on with your thoughts and in the feelings and sensations in your body, and you kind of step back, then you can realize that maybe sometimes it's like in your power to just slow down. Everything doesn't have to be done in a rush. And sometimes, even if you're not moving in a rush, I don't know about you, but definitely for me, like there's been times that it's like I'm rushing, but I'm rushing in my head too. Like maybe my movements aren't like the fastest, but then like my mind is going like 100 miles an hour. And I feel like for me to practice like that meta awareness is just to take a breath and remind myself like, okay, no, I'm going to do this really, really, really slow. I'm going to be very mindful about it. And that's what we're talking about, treating stuff like meditation. I used to treat washing the dishes like a meditation, just literally like focusing and being very intentional with my movements and everything, just to sneak in meditations here and there to build that muscle, because that's how you get better.
Yeah, but even just treating everything as a meditation is just like training your nervous system to calm down.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things in life, social media, all these things, like everything's like so fast and instant that it's like frying our nervous system. So this is like a good way to like regulate that and just really come back into like what's natural to us, which is things not going so fast and just being able to breathe, right?
And sometimes you will notice that your breath is wrong, like it's maybe like very shallow, and then you're going to have to be intentional, and you're gonna have to step into that meta awareness. You're gonna have to step into that meta awareness to be able to actually like breathe properly and like do breathing exercises. So all these things can help with the building of that meta awareness muscle. It's gonna take time, and there will be times that you will forget about it and you will stop practicing, and then you come back to it. But I think that it's definitely something that's really important, and it has really helped us.
It has helped us a lot. In many situations, I have found myself where I can easily, or at least somewhat easily, change my perspective, or like just change or like diffuse my emotional like what is that?
The charge.
Yeah, there you go, emotional charge. Just because I can step into that control center and realize what's happening. And understand where my reaction and my emotion is coming from, so then I can just take a little more control and not have it affect me so hard. Because I don't know about you, but I consider myself a highly sensitive person. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I need ways, I need things to help, and this helps.
Yeah. Yeah, in that practicing of meta awareness, we realize things like, I'll just say like a random example, that let's say when we were going on a walk and it was cold, we realized that we were tensing our bodies so much. But we only came to that realization once we were practicing this meta awareness. So then we realized, okay, every time we're going on a walk that it's cold, we're tensing up so bad, it's making it way worse, and then we're in pain when we don't have to be in pain. So then it would turn into us reminding ourselves, like, relax your muscles, relax your muscles, like, relax, you don't need to tense, it's not that cold, relax, you don't need to tense, and just doing that basically like over and over. And that can apply to anything. You might be finding yourself tensing at work. You might
Mm-hmm.
be finding that you're tensing like your jaw or something. You're like your shoulders are like hunched like this, like all these
Mm-hmm.
things. And in that moment, then just do a little something to help with it. And you can release the tension from your muscles, or you can do a little stretch, like you can stand up, you can go walk, anything. But I feel like the point is that the root there is gonna be, you need to be aware, or you're just gonna not know. You'll be tense through work, and then tense on a walk because it's cold, and then like rushing through washing dishes, and rushing through to get like through the chores, and like cooking really fast, and like doing everything in like this frantic state. Then scrolling on social media, never ending, and then you're like, why can't I breathe? This is why you can't breathe. You got to step back, you got to relax, and you got to take control again.
Yeah. So these are some tools that you can use. I've actually also even used journaling as a way to step into meta awareness.
Yeah.
Just writing down certain things and reading back what I'm writing, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it just brings a lot to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to be anything difficult for you to just take that control. These are
Yeah.
very simple steps. You can
Mm-hmm.
do them practically anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do it literally at any time. It's something that I would practice while driving, even. I would, if I caught myself like tensing up and stuff, like, okay, relax, like relax your muscles. For me, it's a lot of relaxing. Like maybe that's not like what you're noticing, but for me, a lot of like my anxiety manifests as tension in my body. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of my meta awareness practice is a lot of like letting go and releasing and like relaxing my muscles.
With the driving, like you just mentioned, even just a lot of people, most of us, I'm gonna say, drive so unconsciously. Like they don't even, you don't even remember the drive. Like how did I even get here? I somehow made it home, but it's like you weren't really there.
Yeah.
There was, you were thinking about like 10,000 other things. That's how you know
Mm-hmm.
you're not in meta awareness. Like life is just happening. You're just in this constant motion of things just being like convoluted in your mind. But
Yeah.
once you realize like, oh wait, I'm actually not paying attention, I'm not actually present in the moment, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
aware, that's how
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, actually I'm stepping into that control center. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let me just actually notice my surroundings when I'm driving, let me pay attention, let me put something intentionally on so I can listen to it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just completely different when you start actually practicing it, because you'll catch yourself in a lot of moments like, oh wait, I'm not actually here right now, I'm just reacting.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The last thing I'll say is that no matter what it is that you're trying to do with your life, a practice of building your awareness will be beneficial. Like that's all I have to say. It doesn't matter what you do, if you're an athlete, if you're a teacher, if you're a nurse, if doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter what you do. I feel like it would be highly beneficial for everyone to be aware of what's going on in their minds, what's going on in their bodies, and sort of take some sort of control of everything that of their reactions. Take that moment, that step back. I just think that it can be beneficial to everyone.
We like to close off the episode with this quote, and I'm going to read it off the paper. You are not the voice in your head. You are the one who hears it. That is Michael A. Singer. I think that's his name.
Yes.
And he is the author of The Untethered Soul. That was a great book.
I've read that book so many times that I lost count. I read it every year ever since I started reading it. It's a really good book.
Great book for this kind of topic. If you
Yeah.
want some more information, again, that's not sponsored. That's just because we love you guys and we don't want to hoard in kind of information. Anything
Yeah.
to help.
Yeah. Anything. I feel like at the end of the day, like we talk about a lot in this podcast about building a better world, and I think that an intentional world where everyone is being very intentional with their actions, that's how we get a better world.
We're all in this together. We got this.
Yeah. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and we hope to see you next week on the next one. Bye.
Bye.